What would you do if the person who abandoned you as a child suddenly reappeared, begging for your help, when you've spent your entire life piecing together the fragments they left behind? My name is Lena, and that question isn't hypothetical, it's the weight I carry every day. At 18, I've already lived a lifetime of lessons most people never face. I was left at a fire station when I was 6 months old, wrapped in a blanket with nothing but a scribbled note, "Please take care of her." No name, no explanation, just a baby nobody wanted. That was me. Growing up in foster care wasn't a fairy tale. I bounced between homes, some kind, some cruel, learning early that trust is a luxury I couldn't afford. By the time I was 10, I'd stopped dreaming of a family. Instead, I dreamed of escaping a life where I could stand on my own, free from the pitying looks and whispered judgments. I was smart, scrappy, and determined to prove I didn't need anyone. I worked odd jobs, saved every penny, and earned a scholarship to a community college in the city. At 16, I emancipated myself, trading instability for freedom. It wasn't easy, but it was mine. The city became my home, its chaos a strange kind of comfort. I rented a tiny room above a laundromat, the hum of machines lulling me to sleep. I studied by day, worked nights at a diner, and kept my walls high. No one got close, not friends, not coworkers, not even the kind old man who ran the corner store and slipped me extra bread rolls on slow days. I told myself I was fine alone. I had to be. Then, one rainy evening, everything changed. I was wiping down tables at the diner, the neon sign outside flickering in the storm, when a woman walked in. She was thin, her face weathered beyond her years, with eyes that darted nervously. Her coat was too big, her hair limp from the rain. She sat in the corner booth, staring at the menu like it held the answers to her life. I didn't think much of it, people like her came and went. But when I approached to take her order, she looked up, and something in her gaze stopped me cold. It was like looking into a distorted mirror, my eyes, my nose, my face, but older, broken. "You're Lena, aren't you?" Her voice was soft, trembling. I froze, my pen hovering over the notepad. I'm your mother." The words hit like a punch. I wanted to laugh, to scream, to throw her out into the rain. Instead, I stood there, silent, as the world tilted. She said her name was Claire, and she'd been looking for me. She didn't explain why she'd left me all those years ago, not at first. She just kept talking, her words spilling out like she was afraid I'd vanish if she stopped. She told me about her life after May, a new husband, 2 kids, a house in the suburbs. A fresh start. A family that didn't include me. I didn't know whether to hate her or pity her. I chose neither. "Why are you here?" I finally asked, my voice sharp enough to cut through her rambling. She looked down, twisting a napkin in her hands, and that's when the truth came out. Her husband had died in a car accident, leaving her with debts she couldn't pay. Her kids, me half-siblings, were in foster care now, just like I'd been. She was alone, broke, and desperate. And somehow, she'd tracked me down, thinking I was her salvation. I could have walked away. I should have. But something kept me there, listening as she begged for help, not for her, she insisted, but for her kids. "They're good kids, Lena. They don't deserve this. Please." Her voice cracked, and for a moment, I saw the woman she might have been before life broke her. I didn't owe her anything. She'd left me to fend for myself, built a new life without a backward glance. But those kids, they were innocent, caught in the same system that had chewed me up. I knew what that felt like. That's when the twist came, the one I didn't see coming. As Claire talked, a boy slipped into the diner, drenched and shivering. He was maybe 12, with the same dark hair and wary eyes I saw in the mirror every day. He didn't say much, just stood by Claire's side, clutching a backpack. "This is Ethan," she said quietly. "Your brother." My heart stuttered. I'd spent my life alone, convincing myself I didn't need family, and now here was a kid who shared my blood, looking at me like I might be his last hope. He didn't know me, but his presence shifted something inside me. I wasn't just Lena, the survivor, anymore. I was someone's sister. The days that followed were a blur of choices I never thought I'd make. I let Claire and Ethan crash in my tiny room, though every instinct screamed to keep them out. Claire was a mess, apologetic one minute, defensive the next, always dodging questions about why she'd left me. Ethan, though, was different. He was quiet but sharp, watching me like he was trying to figure out if I was real. One night, he showed me a sketchbook filled with drawing cityscapes, faces, even a rough sketch of me wiping down tables at the diner. "You're good," I said, surprised. He shrugged, but I saw a flicker of pride. For the first time, I wondered if I could be more than just a survivor. Maybe I could be someone who mattered to someone else. Helping Claire wasn't easy. I used my savings to cover her debts, knowing it might set me back years. I contacted social workers, fought to get Ethan and his sister, Mia, out of foster care. Every step felt like a betrayal of the walls I'd built, but every time I looked at Ethan, I saw a kid who deserved better than I'd gotten. Claire, for her part, tried to make amends. She told me bits and pieces of her story, how she'd been young and scared, how my father had left her, how she thought I'd be better off without her. It wasn't enough to erase the pain, but it was enough to make me see her as human, flawed and broken like the rest of us. The real turning point came when I met Mia, Ethan's younger sister. She was 7, all energy and questions, with no idea of the weight of our shared history. She hugged me the first time we met, like it was the most natural thing in the world. That hug cracked something open in me, a longing I'd buried so deep I'd forgotten it was there. I realized I didn't just want to help them, I wanted to know them. I wanted to be part of something bigger than myself. By the time Claire got back on her feet, things had changed. She found a job, a small apartment, and started rebuilding. I didn't forgive her, not completely. Some wounds don't heal, they just scar over. But I didn't hate her anymore either. Ethan and Mia became my anchor, the family I'd never let myself dream of. We'd meet up on weekends, sharing cheap pizza and bad jokes, building something fragile but real. I was still Lena, the girl who'd fought for everything she had, but now I was also Lena, the sister, the one who chose to stay when it would have been easier to walk away. In the end, Claire's begging wasn't what saved her, it was what saved me. I'd spent my life running from the idea of family, afraid it would break me again. But Ethan and Mia showed me that family isn't about perfection or even forgiveness. It's about showing up, even when it hurts, even when it's messy. It's about choosing to care, not because you owe someone, but because you believe in something bigger than yourself. And for the first time in my life, I did.